What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, well, the script is in and it got approved for a motion picture. Guys, the WNBA had an amazing pair of game threes yesterday, but in the end, it's the Indiana Fever and the Las Vegas Aces. Two fan bases that are very passionate. The largest fan base in the WNBA. It's going to be a ratings bonanza. It's going to be insane. And it's exactly what the WNBA wanted. Guys, Quita in the Morning starts now.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Guys, this has been a roller coaster of a couple of games. Absolutely wild. And I'm here for it all. I am here for it all. And today, also yesterday, me and Mama, we actually did like a real whole recap thing about each game in detail. So if there's an aspect of the games that you're like, hey, Quita, why didn't you talk about that? We probably talked about that yesterday. And so how I want to structure the show today is by doing the following. What I want to do is I want to talk about the rise of the underdog, talk about the script that was in place and how the script happened. And I want to talk about what in the world we are going to be expecting. Okay? Yeah. First up, let's talk about the Indiana Fever. This isn't quite the graphic I should have picked, but what I want to talk about is hardships. So before we go and look to the semifinals, we need to stop and talk about the playoffs story so far. I want to talk about the Indiana Fever because y'all, this might be one of the greatest and stunning things that we have seen in recent, very, very recent playoff history. This is by far the greatest underdog story we have seen in the WNBA postseason. Think about it this way. Sydney Colson out for the season with a left ACL tear, left ACL injury. Erin McDonald out for the season with a right foot injury. Sophie Cunningham out for the season with a right MCL injury. Chloe Bibby out for the rest of the season with a right knee injury. Caitlin Clark out for the rest of the season as well with a groin injury. This Indiana Fever team has 5 players who are with the team on the bench, sometimes sitting behind the bench, cheering this team on. 5 players who cannot play because they're hurt. Now, interesting enough, 2 of those 5 were not even on the team to start the season. Erin McDonald was brought on initially because Caitlin Clark was hurt. And so she signed couple of hardship contracts until she impressed the team so much that she earned a rest of season contract. Chloe Bibby was not on the Indiana Fever team to start the season. She joined this team due to injuries and them having an extra space once DeWanda Bonner was gone. What we have seen this offseason is a team that lost 5 players. And they all basically happen around the same time. And some teams would be like, oh, it's over. Let's pack it up. See you next year. But not Indiana. Not Indiana. They continued to shop the hardship market and picked up some good players. Picked up a player like an Odyssey Sims, who, ended up getting, who spent some time without being on a team this year. All right. And we see what Odyssey Sims did yesterday. Look at a player like a Lexi Hull. Yes, she does get credit and gets attention, but not a ton. Sometimes people forget Lexi until she ripped the ball away in Game 3 with the season on the line. What we have seen is a team that is stitched together with grit, second chances, and players who flat out refuse to quit on their careers. Players like a Odyssey Sims. Players like a Brianna Turner. And what did all that fight give them? Well, they gave them the Indiana Fever's first playoff series win since 2025 on the road against a really good Atlanta Dream team. A 7-0 run to close out the series. The Fever did not just survive, they stunned the league. So, now the stage is set. We got the Indiana Fever, a band of underdogs who wasn't even supposed to be here, getting ready to take on the Las Vegas Aces. And Asia Wilson, who is at her peak. And that's why really this upcoming semifinals that starts on Sunday is going to be something you don't want to miss. 5 season-ending injuries, several hardship players. First one since 2015. Amazing coaching job for Coach Stephanie White. Amazing coaching job. So, with that being said, I want to quickly go over yesterday, and we can kind of move on from here. All right. But first, we got a super chat. Thank you so much, Stern, for the super chat. Says shows what a good front office can do. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Shows what a good front office can do. All right, so let's get into overall both of those guys. I just wanted to quickly do a quick little segment about underdogs. I really do feel like that's what the Indiana Fever are right now. They're underdogs that should not have made it. They were not the better team, in my opinion, but they played like the better team yesterday. And sometimes that's all you need to do, just outwork the other team. So let's get into it. We saw 2 games yesterday, 2 basically heart attacks types of games, and a plot twist that every league dreams of. We got the Indiana Fever, the WNBA's biggest traveling tour. I want to say circus, but people are say that that's a negative thing. Traveling circus of a fan base where it's like literally they're just going everywhere and it's just big fanfare, all that good jazz. They're in the finals. Semifinals. That means more noise, more ratings, and more tickets that are snatched up quick, fast, and in a hurry. And the Aces, well, they survived a battle with the Seattle Storm. You couldn't have pictured a better semifinals for the WNBA than this. We say this all the time. Sometimes sports provide the best stories, right? That's why you see sometimes where you see like movies that are based on a true story and it's like a sports thing, because in a lot of ways, sports, they're the best screenwriters. And that's why you call it the script. The Fever was not supposed to win. A lot of people said Dreamin' 2 or Dreamin' 3. They were not the better team. They had a lot of injuries, but they clawed back on the road and got the dub, right? The Aces wrestled control late in this game, and they took down the Seattle Storm, another team that some had losing in 2 games. But the Seattle Storm, with a coach that some people think is on the ropes, with a team culture that people have criticized, this team almost took down the 2-time champs. And what we saw in this first round, of the WNBA playoffs, guys, I want you to bottle that up and shake it, because I think we're going to see that and more in the semifinals. That and more. Expect packed buildings, sold out crowds, and atmospheres that you can feel through the TV. Insane. I already kind of talked about the Indiana Fever, so let me talk about the Aces, because I thought what we saw with the Aces was pretty cool. Here we go. Yesterday. We saw another elimination game, another blood pressure test, and the Las Vegas Aces, just by the small margin, ended up taking down the Seattle Storm. Final score 74-73. And if you need just another reminder as to why A'ja Wilson lives rent-free in a lot of WNBA players and a lot of WNBA coaches' minds, it's because A'ja Wilson is her. In my opinion, should be the MVP, but we'll see what happens. She dropped 38 points yesterday, tying, I believe, her career high. Shot 14 of 26 from the field. Got to the free throw line left and right. 11 free throws attempted for her. 10 made. And that was just the beginning. Because A'ja Wilson on top. Can't take her spot. But I guess she can share her spot, because remember, her and Alana Smith are co-defensive players of the year. Beckingham is not happy about it, but That's how the votes crumble, is what it is. Anyway, what I want to get to in this one is I want to get to the things that enabled winning for the Las Vegas Aces. And yes, this game went down to the wire. Yes, Asia Wilson was her. Like, she was doing her thing. But also, we saw some really good play from everybody else. And I start with Jewell Loyd. Now, Jewell Loyd is not the offensive firepower that the Aces need. Now, in the semifinals, and if they go to the finals, Jewell Loyd needs to be scoring at least about 10, 15 points. She needs to. But yesterday, she was doing a little bit of everything else. She was rebounding the basketball. She was playing defense. She was making stuff happen. I enjoyed watching Jewell Loyd play yesterday. I did. I enjoyed watching Jackie Young play, and how she is constantly somebody that this team can rely on. I enjoyed looking at Chelsea Gray knocking down those threes. Right. I enjoyed the couple of minutes that Cheyenne Parker-Tyus had, even though she missed her field goals. We saw some pretty good play by the Las Vegas Aces, but we saw, in certain aspects, even better play. Even better play from the Seattle Storm. And for the Seattle Storm, it really, really, really started and ended with Erica Wheeler. Throughout this game, Erica Wheeler was just like, she was fantastic, especially later in the game. You want to talk about a tough underdog type of player? Dog. Erica freaking Wheeler. She was doing her thing. Nneka Ogwumike struggled to score, especially in the first half. In the second half, she got going a little bit, but not much. Brittany Sykes also did show a little bit of life in this game, which I very much appreciated. Brittany Sykes has had a terrible couple of games, but yesterday I felt like she did step up. There was a little spurt of time where she was absolutely doing her thing. Right, finished the game with 9 points, but like there was a spurt where it was like, okay, Brittany, show what you can do. And when we're talking about the Seattle Storm, we have to talk about the rookie Dominique Malunga. Dominique Malunga was super aggressive in this game on both offense and defense. And while she did miss a decent amount of shots, guys, there is something so special about Dominique Malunga. She is such a special player in terms of just what you can imagine her doing next year. Honestly, guys, I cannot wait. I cannot wait until Dominique Malunga gets older, because she has it. She has it. We saw her step up her defensive game. Now, was she still kind of in some ways getting cooked by Asia Wilson? Yes, because Asia Wilson's Asia Wilson. But she did have some pretty good stops on defense. Right? She did. And when we look back at this game, I think we're going to talk about the rise of Dom. And that's what we're going to talk about in the future when we look back on this game. Right? That's what we're going to talk about. Because you can see it. Now, yes, Dominique Malunga missed some point-blank shots, in my opinion, especially literally right at the rim. But you see the vision. You absolutely see the vision. And Tisha, yeah, you're right. Says once she gets in the weight room, she is going to be extremely great with power and agility. Yeah. Yeah. Shamika says, I think people are just over Asia winning everything. I mean, yeah, I think you're right. Here's the thing. Back in the day when UConn was like the greatest of the great and literally was like just winning back to back to back to back, I was not a fan of UConn because they kept winning. And I was just like, come on now, lose. Like, I'm saying that to say that yes, sometimes consistent greatness gets annoying. People get tired of winning, of somebody just winning everything, right? People just get tired and they're just like, somebody else, please win something. And it's understandable. I think it's human nature in a lot of ways. I think it's human nature. So I get it. I get it. I absolutely get it. LL Cool Nate, thank you so much for the super chat. Says Malunga missing layups because she's supposed to dunk. Yeah. I'm so surprised that we went the entire season. We went the entire season, guys, without watching Dominique Malunga dunk in a game. Like, she dunks pregame. It seems like every pregame she dunks. But, like, she doesn't dunk in a game. She has not dunked in a WNBA game so far. And I'm surprised about that. I'm so surprised. I am so surprised. Right? So surprised. Patrick says the Fever fans are going to take over the Vegas arena. I don't think they'll take it over. No. Will they be there and be very vocal? Absolutely. But they won't take over. I think the loudest cheers will still be Aces fans. It will still be Aces fans. Marge says, why do you think she never dunked in a game? I'm not sure. Because she had opportunities. Yesterday, she had an opportunity. In other games this season, I felt that Dom had opportunities to just dunk. I don't know why she didn't. I'm really not sure. I'm really, really not sure. Donna says, but Quita, you have to agree that putting a rookie on Asia was a terrible mistake. Sure. However, I think that was smart for the future of Dominique Malunga. And the reason why I say that is because, yes, of course, Asia Wilson was cooking. She absolutely was. Or getting fouled, right? But Dominique Malunga, she has a very, very high ceiling, guys. There is potential for Dominique Malunga to wind up being a first-team All-WNBA type of player. Maybe even an MVP type of player. Well into the future. And in order to be the best, you got to learn how to play against the best. The best is Asia Wilson, right? I don't expect a 6'6", 19-year-old rookie to dominate the matchup between Asia Wilson. No, I expect her to flounder. I expect her to make some mistakes. I expect her to learn from them. I expect her to get better. But no, I don't expect her to stop Asia. And if you're looking at the future of Dominique Malunga, yeah, you put her on Asia Wilson. Not with you thinking that she can stop her completely, but girl, learn. Learn from the master. Learn from the master. Learn what Asia Wilson is doing against you. And yes, you might not be able to stop all her moves this year. But there's always next year. You got to learn. You got to learn somehow. You got to learn somehow. And what's better than to put Dominique Malunga and her length on A'ja Wilson? But I thought she held her own as well as she possibly could. Like, again, you're going against A'ja Wilson. Like, it's not like you're going against a scrub. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought Dominique Malunga did as well as she could. I really do. And I'm not upset about her game at all. Omega J says, Malunga is no average rookie. She's not an average rookie. Yeah, she's not. El Kune says, man, Dom is going to be killing it in like 2 years. I don't doubt it. I mean, I think for sure a first team all WNBA is in her future. And depending on how things go, she could end up being an MVP candidate. I could see it. Donna says, I believe Malunga will be a great player in the future. Yep. Yep. La Formula says, Skylar Diggins not being on the post-game interviews is trash. She failed her team. Here's how post-game interviews work, guys. Reporters in attendance have the ability to question anybody on a team, whether or not they show up as on the post-game interview stage or not. Okay. So that's something to note, that like just because you're not one of the 2 or sometimes 3 people sitting at that table waiting for questions does not mean that a reporter can't ask you questions, because they can go to the PR person for that team and say, hey, I want to ask XYZ player a question, and then they'll get taken to like wherever that player is going to be, and then they're able to interview. So like, it's not like a I don't think it's a she was ducking or whatever, because here's the thing: usually the PR people pick the 2 best players of the game and have them in the post-game pressers. And the best player on Seattle was Erica Wheeler. So, makes sense that she was in it. And the second best player was Nneka Ogwumike. So, makes sense that she was in it too. So, just because you don't see a player in there does not mean that they're dodging anything. Literally, Erica Wheeler and Nneka Ogwumike were better. So, that's why they were in the post-game presser. It's not like a dodging thing, I don't think. Okay? Ebony says, I'm not sure if the Storm will be the same next season. I don't know if they will be either. But I tell you this. Here's my take. And we'll see what you all think about it. I do believe that Noelle Quinn might have bought her some time. I think Noelle Quinn might have bought herself some time in the way that this series transpired. Tisha says, I think the Storm did enough to save Quinn's job with this playoff run. And guys, I gotta agree. Like I do think that they might have done enough to save her position, because truth be told, it seemed, I think she was on the chopping block. I think Noelle Quinn is on the chopping block. And I think that this series besides not winning the whole thing, which would have been the best sort of job security in a way. The fact that they came so close to taking down the Las Vegas Aces and making it to the semifinals, I'm like, maybe that's enough. They played a really fantastic game 2, really fantastic game 3 that ultimately just a rebound away. A rebound away. Well, and a two decisions by Skylar at the end that could have, changed some stuff. Like I do wonder if Noelle may have bought herself some more time with the way that her team stepped up and they played. But we'll see. Jay Spade says they better keep Skylar and Gabby. I don't know. I don't know what they'll do. I mean, I know for sure they're keeping Dominique Malonga. Or at least they should. If they don't, then they're crazy. They're absolutely crazy. But I do think that's the case. I do think they'll keep Dominique Malonga, and it's like, hey, build on who could be beneficial to Dom. And I do think Skylar and NECA could be beneficial to Dom in the future in terms of just her overall evolution as a player. And everybody else, like, to me, teams need to decide, okay, well, who's our future? Right? I've talked about this before with the Chicago Sky. To me, the future is Camilla and Angel, right? For the Seattle Storm, it's Dominique Malonga. Yes. Is Skylar great? Is NECA great? Yes. But they are towards the end of their careers in the WNBA. They're towards the end of their careers. It's about young talent and building for the future. And that young talent, Dominique Malonga. That's who it is. Dominique Malonga. All right. And so to me, the Indiana Fever, or not Indiana Fever, oh my goodness. This is because I'm reading a question about the Indiana Fever. To me, the Seattle Storm need to ask themselves a question. Where's our future? Who is the most important player on the roster? The most important player is Dominique Malonga. Most important. It's not Ezzy, right? It's not Erica. It's not Skylar. It's not NECA. It's your young talent that has the ability to be one of the best players in a W. That's who it is. And so what you need to do is you need to figure out, okay, well, what does she need? Who does she need to get surrounded by to be at her best? And then you make personnel decisions from there. That's what it should be. Not legacy players, not people who are just friends with the coach or GM or whatever. You have to make a decision of what the future is. And for all these teams, you shouldn't be building around older players. You shouldn't. No, you really shouldn't. That's a recipe for success, for not being successful. We've seen teams do that, and what have we seen as a result? Nothing. Build around your young talent, make them the focal point of everything, and then watch success. I mean, y'all remember the Seattle Storm built around Sue Bird and Lauren Jackson. And look what transpired after that. Right? And then when Stewie came there, the Seattle Storm built around Stewie. And look what happened there. The Las Vegas Aces built around Asia, Jackie, Kelsey. Look what happened there. Just saying. Just saying. The Indiana Fever building around Aaliyah and Caitlin. Now, that's a slightly different one because they didn't anticipate Caitlin to be hurt all season. But anyway. Anyway. Speaking of Indiana, King K says Indiana do enough to save Stephanie White's job? ? I mean, Stephanie White's job was not in contention. I've heard some people be like, oh, she's a bad coach. She's gonna get fired at blah blah blah. I don't think Stephanie White's job was up for sale. I really don't. I don't. But she did great. I mean, literally, you took an injury-ridden team and now you're in the semifinals. Like, come on now, like that. It's really good. It's really good. Ebony says, in relation to Noelle Quinn, to be honest, Quita, it could be hit or miss because, yes, they came so close to winning the series, but it doesn't excuse how poorly her team played in the regular season. Yes, you're right about that. You are right about that. Yeah. It doesn't excuse how poorly they played in the regular season and how poorly they played in game 1. Y'all remember? Y'all remember how bad they were just on Sunday? Just saying. Lisa says, what do you think about the Leah Boston and A'ja Wilson matchup? I think it's about to be popcorn. This is about to be a fun thing to watch. I tell you that. It's about to be so fun to watch. Okay? It's about to be so fun. South Carolina on South Carolina. Two we about to see both of them players complaining up a storm. I think there needs to be a game around this matchup. Who complains the most? A'ja Wilson or Leah Boston? It needs to be some sort of game because both of the players they complain a lot. They do. I just gotta say. Conventional wisdom says that the Aces sweep the Indiana Fever, but conventional wisdom has been wrong this whole time. Conventional wisdom says that yes, A'ja Wilson probably scores close to 40 points, dominates. It's over from the get-go. But conventional wisdom has been wrong this season, this offseason, this postseason. So, yeah, who knows? But Aaliyah Boston has a work cut out for her because A'ja Wilson is no easy guard. I'm just saying. She is not an easy person that you can just go against and dominate. And so I think that'll be really fun. I think it'll be really fun to watch A'ja go against Aaliyah Boston. But I tell you this, Dawn Staley gonna be she's gonna be like a proud parent. Hopefully Dawn can end up going to a game. I don't know if she'll be able to go, but because South Carolina basketball is gearing up. But I think that'd be really fun if she did. I think that'd be really, really fun if she did. But remember, Indiana beat Vegas earlier this year. So, like, hey, who knows? Who knows what will happen? Okay? Let's see. Rotu says, Neka said in the post-game interview when asked about the coach, she said it was too premature to answer and that the team will not look the same next season. I mean, yeah, of course the team will not look the same. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we got a super chat. Thank you so much, May, for the super chat. Salute to you. Really do appreciate it. HK. Is that Hong Kong? But I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Amelia says, I never thought Stephanie White's job was in jeopardy. She's a great coach. I mean, I don't think it ever was in jeopardy. I think people just like to talk. I think people just like to talk. Stearns, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, will they let the Fever be physical with Wilson? I don't know. I hope so. I mean, I hope we're in for a physical semifinals. Of course, not a semifinals that goes too far. Like there is a line there, but like I do hope for physicality in the post, because to me that's fun. That's fun basketball. So I do hope that I hope they are allowed to be physical with Asia, and in turn, the Aces are able to be physical with Aaliyah Boston. I think as long as the referees pick a lane and stick with it, I'm cool. If you're going to call it tight, while I don't like that, I'm fine with it as long as you call it tight both ways. Of course, you're going to miss a calls here and there, but overall, whatever. If you're going to call it loose and allow players to show a lot of physicality, I love that. That's fantastic. But make sure it's both ways. Don't allow Aaliyah Boston to hack the mess out of Asia Wilson, but Asia can't even touch Aaliyah Boston without getting a foul called, or vice versa. My point is, just be consistent. I'm cool with physicality. I love physicality. I think it's great. Just be consistent. That's my only request for the WNBA. My only request. Have the refs be consistent. Now, yes, you're going to miss calls. And yes, after every game, you can make a video pointing out the calls that were missed. But overall, I think we just have to find some consistency. And yesterday, I thought the refs were pretty consistent. I thought the refs were pretty consistent. Like, yes, did they miss calls here and there? Yes, they did. They're not perfect. But overall, they did a pretty good job. I hope they do the same for the semifinals. I hope they do the same. KB, thank you so much for the super chat. Salute to you. Says, you can't coach effort. Firing Noelle is stupid. Now, I am not advocating for her to get fired. That's not what I'm doing. I am saying that there seemed to be possible writing on the wall that, like, maybe if this season does not end up being super successful, maybe her job is on the line, possibly. And I think that overall the Seattle Storm have underperformed, in my opinion. They have. They underperformed severely last year, and even this year, to me, they underperformed in the regular season. Now, again, I thought they gave fantastic effort in Game 2 and Game 3. Not Game 1, but Game 2, Game 3, spectacular. But it's the regular season, and you losing, and sometimes badly, against teams you have no business losing to. I think to me that's the issue. Not losing to the Aces in the playoffs. Like, I mean, because that's a hard thing to do. That's a very hard thing to do. But we'll see what happens. I mean, here's the thing. There is a pathway for Noelle to find some success in Seattle. I think it really involves drafting smart again next year, and it's free agency time. It is free agency time. And so, we'll see. We'll see in terms of who they're able to get, right? Afro, thank you so much for the super chat. Really, really appreciate that so much. It really does help the channel out a whole lot. Says, is the WNBA, quote unquote, relieved that the Dream Small Arena is no longer a topic? Yes, I think 100%. 100%. I think they're probably like, wow, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we will not have a semifinals game with 3,800 people in attendance, maximum, because that's capacity. That's a sellout. I am so happy. So happy. And I guarantee the WNBA is very relieved because of that. It's no longer a topic, but it requires planning for the future. It requires planning. Right? The WNBA is all about optics, all about making stuff look better than it is. It's all about the eye test. And we have seen this year, the WNBA upgrade their stuff, right? We've seen the WNBA do a better job at even with some of the awards and announcing those. They've done a better job at trying to build attention and showcase the greatness of the league. And one of the ways they do that is by, look at our awesome numbers. Look at the great numbers. Like, you know, look at the ratings, look at the attendance, all that good stuff. And having a semifinals with 3,800 people in attendance, it hurts the narrative that the WNBA is trying to sell, that the WNBA is big business, that the WNBA brings tens of thousands to the games. Not tens of thousands, but like over, 10,000 plus. Like, right? That WNBA arenas look amazing, that the whole atmosphere is awesome. You can't really do that with 3,800 people. And so, yes, I think the WNBA completely is relieved. I think they're very relieved. And they should be. Because the Atlanta Dream do need to get out of... they need to get out of the Gateway Center. Now, did Atlanta need the Gateway Center? Yes, they did. Because the Atlanta Dream, I believe at one point they were at the Atlanta Hawks arena. And it got to a point where nobody was really going to the games. And so making the decision to go to Gateway Center was smart at the time. I do think now is not then. And I do think they need to make a change. I already made a video about it. Some people felt a certain way about my video. It's not a video to bash the Atlanta Dream. It was a video to say, hey, you're too good for this now. I know at one point you needed this. At one point, you absolutely needed to be here. And I supported that when they first moved. Same thing for Washington. The Washington moved to a smaller arena because they were at the Wizards arena and people were not going to the games. People weren't going. And so moving to a smaller arena, I get it. I understand. But you've had several years of selling out. Several years of season ticket holders not being able to be season ticket holders because you don't have enough space. And so I think you've made it far enough to graduate from the Gateway Center. To move on and to be in a bigger arena. Maybe it's not where the Atlanta Hawks play. Maybe it's a college. Maybe it's one of the local colleges in Atlanta that have a bigger capacity. Right? Maybe that's what it is. Right? Maybe it's one of those things where you have you can get in an arena that holds 7,500. That's better. That's a whole lot better. And so I just think 3,800 is too low. I think they've graduated from there. They had to go there for a reason. I get it. I completely understand why they went there, because people weren't coming. And now you need to graduate. You need to graduate from the Gateway Center to a college arena. Graduate to a college arena. So that's kind of my thoughts there. Like I do think that would be really, really awesome. Yeah, Georgia Tech has a pretty large basketball facility, and so like that could be a great option. that could be a great option. Maybe it's Georgia Tech with their like 14,000 seater arena, or maybe it's something slightly smaller than that. Maybe there's another college that has closer to 7,500 fans capacity, right? And then you just sort of graduate from there. You should just sort of graduate from there. But 3,800 too small. And yes, I think the WNBAs are relieved. Yep. Yes, okay, yes. Anytime you hear Asia say, "Hey," she got hit. That's her way of letting the refs know to blow that whistle. Yeah, I mean, that's her way to let the refs know to blow the whistle. I don't know if it's always that she get hit, but it's always that she wants the foul call when she does that. Because all players, they want the foul calls. They want to sell everything to try to get a foul call. Thank you so much, David, for the super chat. Says, we all know Asia is going to get more calls than Aaliyah Boston. She has earned that whistle, by the way. I'm more intrigued with Young versus Mitchell matchup. Ooh. Now, that's going to be fun, too. That's going to be fun as well. And truly, I think we have a lot of really interesting things to look at, right? Not only Aaliyah Boston versus Asia Wilson, right? As David just pointed out, Jackie Young versus Kelsey Mitchell. I think that's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be the bench versus the bench. What happens when Cheyenne Parker-Tyus comes in for the Las Vegas Aces, right? How does who ends up going against her? I think it's Dana Evans versus, the Shea Pettys of the world and whatnot, like the bench Indiana Fever players, and also at times Dana Evans and Chelsea Gray versus Odyssey Sims, right? And I just think there's gonna be a lot of fun matchups. I completely agree. And David, thanks so much for the additional super chat. Appreciate it. Says, Asia is the best player in the league, not close. I mean, she's the best player in the league, yeah. And I go a step further. Asia Wilson is the best player in the world and has been for probably 2 years, at least. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. As long as Asia Wilson can stay healthy, she is going to wind up being the most decorated player in WNBA history. Because what is stopping her? What's stopping her? I don't know. I don't know, guys. She's just elite. She just is. And I don't see anybody in Asia Wilson's way that's gonna upend her over the next couple of years. Like who? I'm just saying, like it literally, her commercial is true. Asia Wilson on top, can't take her spot. Like who is gonna be better than her? The second best this year was Nafisa Collier. And yes, Nafisa actually might win the MVP, and if she wins, I don't have any issue with it. I do think Asia Wilson is the MVP. I do think she's the best player in the world. Has been for a while. Will be for a longer while, as long as she wants to continue to play. And as long as she doesn't get hurt. Significantly hurt. So, yeah. Patrick says, take away free throws. Asia is average. No, she's not. But... okay, take away your free throws. Take away Asia free throws. Are we going to take away everybody else's free throws as well? Are we going to do that? Because it's only fair. Like if you want to take away Asia's free throws, which okay, sure, take them away. Last night, Asia Wilson had 10 free throws made. She went to the line 11. She attempted 11 free throws, made 10. She had 38 points. Okay, take away Asia's free throws. Take them away. Take them away. So if she made 10 free throws, what does that leave you with? How many, I know I'm probably not that great at math, but how many points do you stay? So you had 38 points. You subtract 10 free throws. How many points is that? I think that's 28 points, right? I think that's 28. Okay. Well, now Asia Wilson has 28 points. Who has more points than 28 yesterday? Who? Nobody. Right? Nobody. So sure, take away her free throws. Take them away. Still, who's better than her? Who has more points than her? Who's more dominant than her? Take away her free throws, sure. And your argument falls apart. That's what I'm trying to get at. your argument falls apart. It just does. El Kune says, Quita, your sarcasm is killing me. I don't know if I totally have the sarcasm gene. I try to be sarcastic, but sometimes people think I'm serious when I'm trying to be sarcastic. So I don't know. I kind of struggle with the sarcastic gene, but like, okay, take away the free throws. Take them away. Who else? This season, Asia Wilson is averaging 20, during the regular season, I should say, Asia Wilson averaged 23.4 points a game. All right? And on average, she made 6 free throws per game. So you take that away. What is it, 17 points per game? Now you do that to everybody else. And we see where we land, right? We end up seeing where we land. So I'm just saying. I think you can take away her points, and she's still the best, or her free throws, and she's still the best player in the world. Take them away. She's still the best player in the world. Offensively and defensive wise. She still is. So, yeah, take them away. I think people think that argument holds weight. Right? I think people think the argument holds weight of like, oh yeah, if she didn't have free throws, she would not be very good. Okay, well, take them away. And look at the rest of her game. I don't get how you can, how that is used as a put down. Because she does so much more than just shoot free throws. All right? She's shooting 50% from the field. This is someone who, during the regular season, averaged 2 blocks a game. This is someone who averaged a double-double rebounding. What else do you have? What other argument is there? After you take away, oh, she shoots too many free throws. Oh, she wouldn't be that good if she didn't have free throws. Okay, well, they're gone. Now what? So, yeah. That's my thoughts there, and I gotta go to work. So, guys, I will see y'all after the game tonight. We'll see y'all after the game tonight. And me and Mama will be on here recapping everything. So thank y'all so much for rocking with me. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts in the chat below. Thank you so much to the folks who gave super chats. I really, really appreciate it. It goes such a long way on this channel. And y'all have a great rest of y'all day. And if you can't have one, don't you dare mess it up for anybody else. That's what Tabitha Brown says, right? Anyway, I will see y'all in the next one. See y'all tonight. Bye-bye.
Are you ready?
Ready, set.